Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate y'all coming out and covering our team today. I stand before you incredibly proud and incredibly disappointed. I'm disappointed that we didn't find a way to beat that team today. Man, my hat's off to Bill Clark. I mean, anytime you win the Western Division and have a chance to play for the conference championship 3 years in a row, that's a heck of a deal. So, again, hats off to them. They found a way today, and they didn't have a perfect world scenario either. We know nothing's perfect in 2020, but what I'm proud of is I'm proud of a group of guys that did, for the most part, everything we ask since June. And every protocol, every selfless decision they made for each other so that we could play this game together and so we could continue to improve. I'm proud of the way they fought till the very last second of that football game. Just so much to be proud of. I'm proud of our growth, but also knowing that we've got some improvement we got to do this offseason, and I can't wait to work on it. So, again, hats off to UAB. Proud and disappointed as I stand here, but we will lick our wounds and can't wait to get back together with this team. I wish spring ball would start next week. With that, I'll open up for any questions. Mark, I see your hand.
Mike, how more painful is this given what happened, how y'all did it last week, and then you ended up getting down to your third string quarterback at the end there when you really needed to make some plays?
Yeah, we trust everybody on this team. Wiley's won games for us before, and certainly not going to throw any blame his way. It wasn't the case. Matter of fact, when he had time in that situation, I felt like he delivered some great balls to our receivers today and moved the sticks. So we got to do a better job when they know we're going to pass, and when everybody in the stadium knows we're going to pass, we got to be able to protect. We got to have tackles that can stand in there, set, punch, and keep their man off. That's what the job calls for. It's everybody talks about DBs, how like everybody knows when they make a mistake. Well, you know what? Everybody knows when you make a mistake at offensive line too. And to be honest, the margin for error should be the same. The difference between a great tackle in the National Football League and a crappy tackle is like 3 sacks. A great one gives up 2 sacks a year, and a bad one gives up 5. And we've got to get to the point where our offensive linemen know that. I would tell you this too. I would tell you UAB schematically, their guys did a great job. When I say their guys, I mean Bill Clark and his staff and their kids and taking some changes. They broke a lot of tendencies on both sides of the ball today, threw a lot of different stuff at us. And, our kids were trying their best to adjust to it, but at the end of the day, they made more plays than we did, and it's not a lot more plays. They made a couple more plays than we did, and we'll keep working. I look forward to the opportunity to play them again.
Mike, does this officially end your season? You'll not try to extend it and add another game?
Yes, sir. I've heard no talk of trying to extend a regular season game at this point. These kids, you see Pitt and Boston College basically saying they don't want to play in a bowl game. I really believe our team did. We could have earned the right. I think you would have seen our team very excited to play in a bowl game, but unfortunately we fell short today. So we'll have a team meeting tomorrow at 6:00, and we've got some exams to finish up. We got exams through Wednesday, and then we're going to safely get these kids home and ask them to make great decisions and take care of their family, and then we'll be excited to get them back for our off-season program beginning January 25th.
Mike, kind of big picture, it was a weird year. What are you going to remember about this season?
What am I going to remember? I'm going to remember how tough like March and April were as we were figuring out what the heck Zoom was and trying to keep everybody healthy mentally. I'm going to remember how badly we wanted to start the first day NCAA allowed us to in June with workouts, and how we, had to like figure out the best way to do it safely as a campus, and how I'm so pleased that President Lebron and Dr. Joe Carlgard, Jerusha Cash, Rick Mello, how they found a way for us to do this safely. I don't know if anybody did it better in America in terms of safer for their kids. And to our knowledge, we still don't think we had a single case passed in the building. We've done an unbelievable job with contact tracing. It comes down to these players, again, making the right decisions. So I'm going to remember that. Then I'm going to remember starting camp and or thinking we were going to start camp and not being able to for a couple different reasons. I'm going to remember how excited we were when we finally did start camp on September 24th, and how thankful for this game we all have been And that's one thing. I think 2020 gave us all a lot to be maybe checked us in terms of like what's really important in our life, and made us appreciate some things that maybe we took for granted. Like we just assume every August football is going to arrive for training camp. We just assume that games on a football schedule are going to be played. And nothing was as it seemed at times. And so when I talk about what I'm going to remember guys that made those decisions. I'm going to remember guys that kept fighting together. I'm going to remember when things got really tough in the midst of a season of the games we got to play, a group of guys that came together and talked about confidence and believing in each other, and went to Marshall and beat a number 15 team and shut them out at their place. I'm going to remember the good. Yeah, I mean, Matt, you know how I am. I'm going to remember the trials, and I'm going to be thankful for those as well. But I'm going to remember the progress. And I think I've said it to some of you guys before. I don't think that anything about this year surely is not a destination. Even if we had made a bowl game, it wasn't a destination. But it's a proof of concept, if you will, and it's showing the progress we're making. And like I said, I just can't wait to keep making it with these guys, making this progress, these incremental steps, step by step, brick by brick, finding a way to improve every day so we can get this program where we all want it.
And then some huge building blocks: Austin Trammell, Blaze Alldredge. Everybody has eligibility coming back next year if they want it. Have you talked to any of your seniors about what the future is going to look like for them?
Absolutely. We've all had some conversations, and we all, in most cases, we elected to kind of kick the can down the road. Those are conversations that I will wrap up with those guys, or at least have another round of conversations with them this week. Those guys that you just mentioned, Jordan Myers, Elijah Garcia, those people are wanted. And but I want it to make sense for them too. I want them to want to come back. I certainly don't wish the things we ask on a member of our football team, the hours, the time, the work. I don't wish that on anybody who doesn't want to do it. So if they want another year, gosh, I want them back.
And then I know you have a early signing period coming up this week, and you're right back into the off season almost immediately. You mentioned you were excited to get there. Is it encouraging in some sense that you can look towards the future now a little bit and focus on the next thing and put this crazy season behind you?
There's pieces of that. I mean, gosh, man, I don't know how to answer that because I really wanted to keep playing with this team. Like I was not in my own mind done. I was ill prepared for this to go the way it did today. I wanted to keep playing with this football team. I wanted to earn another opportunity. So, at the end of the day, it can't start soon enough. I mean, I think all of us will enjoy spending Christmas with our respective families and loved ones. But, I think probably January 2nd, I'll be ready to start if I can get the team to come back. I don't think they will, but January 25th, I guess, will be soon enough.
And then I did want to ask you about your defensive staff. You're going to end the season allowing 0 points in the first quarter. What did you see from Brian Smith and his defensive schemes this year that gave you all a fighting chance in every game?
Yeah, Brian did a wonderful job. He did an absolute wonderful job this year with the scheme. But more than that, like it's the mindset of getting the guys to play so fast within the scheme. It's getting the guys to trust each other. And again, we had some times during the year that were imperfect, and it's an imperfect game. But I'm so pleased with what he has done, what he's put on film and made people prepare for. The calls I get from other coaches in this conference make me laugh sometimes. Like, you had your safety lined up at nose guard, coach. And it's like, yeah, we did. And, we do some different looks, and the big magic to it, in my opinion, is that he teaches it so well, and the coaches teach it so well, and the guys play fast.
And then on offense, a couple different quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, beat up, everything else. What are you going to learn going forward to get back to those 30, 40-point games that you started with?
I guess I need to be more prayerful. We're all better with our ones. And again, I certainly don't think we were the only team in America that had injuries this year, had opt-outs, or had, positive COVID tests. Like, I know we're not the only team. But, man, it was hard in 2020. And we had multiple weeks where we had a practice with one scholarship receiver healthy, and no other team in America would have played. We just love this game, and we said we're going to play. And so what do we do? Like, you look at the plan Coach Mack put together, and, we're going to talk about Coach Smith, and we should. He's amazing, and the results are so improved. But I'd like to evaluate Coach Mack on the first couple games of this season, and even what we were able to do. I wouldn't look at this game. And, I just look at what we did in so many game plans where we put Jordan Myers as a receiver. And I was talking to the ESPN crew on Friday, and I just said what they should do is they should do a Where's Waldo where Jordan Myers is, because I don't think there's a team in America that had their starting tight end as the primary kick returner, the punt returner, the short yards goal line running back, playing fullback, some movement tight end. He didn't take a snap at quarterback or center, but, I mean, essentially he did every other job on our offense today and in special teams, So Coach Mack did a great job, and it also, as I was just describing all those roles, you can imagine how I feel about Jordan Myers being able to do them at such a high level like he did today. He tried to put our offense on his back. I thought he had a great performance, gritty performance. Extended the ball, got a few third down conversions, that touchdown right before the half. That was a great 2-minute drive by our offense. So anyway, I hope I answered your question somewhere in that babbling.
Coach, if you can expound on how hard it is to go the full season, shutting teams out in the first quarter, and actually late in the season when teams know it's coming, but still are not able to overcome and score on you all in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's an unreal stat, and I think that goes back 3 games to last year. Is that correct, Chuck? We haven't allowed a first quarter score. Yeah. Okay, so haven't allowed an offensive – so that goes back even 4 or 5 games into last year. Haven't allowed an offensive touchdown in the first quarter for – gosh, we played 5 this year, maybe 8, 10 games. And so you talk about, like, our guys getting a feel for them and understanding based on film and based on their study and the game plan and being able to take it from the class to the grass and go out there and execute it. It's amazing. But if you think today, like, we did a lot of things right that we wanted to do in the first quarter, we just didn't end up in the box. The defense goes 3 and holds them 3 and out. And then we go on a 12-minute and 12-second, 20-play drive on offense. And that's one of those where you just wish we could have made a play to get in the box. How different does that feel? But we kicked the field goal, made the field goal. So again, there's a lot of things that are trending the right way for our football team. We need to find a way to make a couple more plays and come out victorious. I mean, we lost today and by 1 score, and obviously we had a double overtime game. We got to find a way to win those things, and that's the difference. Think about how different we feel about our season right now, and how jubilant everybody would be if we had won 1 or 2 of those games.
Coach, your defense did such a good job today throughout. I just wanted to ask you about the 2 long touchdown passes early in the third quarter. That kind of meant the difference in the game as well.
They did. They definitely make a difference. But it's what I said earlier. I mean, those people are out there on an island, and to take away some of the stuff we do in the run game, I thought these guys did an unbelievable job running the outside zone play today. And so we had to try to get hats in the box, and that's going to leave our corners out there on an island at times. And, they can't have a bad play. Somebody always has a tough play in the game of football. Every single play, somebody's got a tough down. And when you don't do good job technique-wise, sometimes the ball goes over your head. And when we've been our best on defense, it's when we had games where we didn't let that happen, when we kept the ball in front of us. And that's so easy to say and hard to do. But that's why we're going to keep working and keep practicing. But I'm really proud of this defense this year and this game in totality.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Man, thanks again for covering us. Look forward to seeing y'all and talking to you. If I can do anything for you around our signing day, we're going to be really proud of those kids that we sign as well. And certainly would love to keep you updated about our football team. Thank you.
Yeah, well, first I would like to thank Coach Bloomgren and Coach Smith and Coach Vestal for taking a chance on a junior college guy with 0 offers out of high school. They forever changed my life. I just wish that I could have given them more of my time here. For for the game, like Coach Bloom said, I think we need to give UAB credit. They certainly broke a lot of tendencies. They came out and they had guys step up. They were short some guys, but everybody was short some guys. And, it's Division I football. There's talent all over the roster. So they did a good job of having guys come in, step up, make plays. They returned their starting quarterback who missed a lot of the season, and he brought a little bit of a different element to the game than you saw from their backup. But at the end of the day, we had a few miscommunications that led to some breaks in coverage and too many big plays. We needed to do better.
Question?
Mark has his hand up.
Blaze, you talked about taking a shot on a JUCO kid. It's been a pretty crazy ride for you. What are you going to remember about this season and then what you were able to accomplish during your career?
For this season, I think what I'm going to remember most is just the go to work mentality of this team. With so many uncertainties, with all the pushbacks, the late starts, all the injuries, we never made any excuses. Everybody, every day showed up, went to work and gave it everything they had, and I think you see that reflected in this game. We gave up a couple big plays on defense, and I think that we just kept working. We didn't let it shake us. We didn't let it turn us against each other. And I think that over the time at my time at Rice, that's what I'm going to really remember, because there's been a huge change in culture over my time here, that plays that would have rattled us before, that would have turned us against each other, just that doesn't happen anymore. And we have a lot more confidence. We have a lot more of a hard hat mentality. In terms of what I've accomplished at Rice, I think that that's going to be best reflected by what happens in the years to come. I think that we have a really talented linebacker room. We have guys that, hopefully in a couple years make you forget about Blaze Alldredge. So I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to see what this program does. And yeah.
Anything else?
What's next for you after this? Have you put much thought into that?
No, my main focus was on winning this game, and doing everything I could to play another one with my brothers. Right now, to be honest, I have a lot of schoolwork, so that's the main focus of me. Time to be just a Rice student and not a Rice student athlete. But like Coach Bloom said, those are conversations that we're gonna have in the near future. But one thing I will tell you is that I'm just excited. I know that whatever happens, Rice has done a great job preparing me for my future, and I'm forever grateful for it.
And then big picture about your defense. Didn't allow a point in the first quarter this year. Is that something you could have ever imagined in your wildest goals?
I think it is. And I think it stems from confidence in our coordinator, Coach Smith. And I think just confidence in the defense across the board. We returned a lot of production. We were really excited about this year and what it could potentially mean for us, both as a team and as a defense. And I think that was the standard we held ourselves to. And, it's one of the things every team focuses on is starting fast. So that was something that we obviously put an exclamation point on, and we did a great job just executing what our coaches put in front of us.
Yeah, so to start off, it's never easy coming in with so much on the line. Being here for 5 years, finally getting that opportunity to, win a big game, 2 big games in a row, and have the opportunity to go to a bowl game. Just having it in your fingertips, and watching it just slip through your hands, it's tough. But biggest thing, man, I'm proud of this team. We've come so far. But the thing that I know is that we have a long way to go.
Question?
Coach mentioned earlier that you did everything besides snap it and play quarterback over the course of this year. Anything in particular that you enjoyed doing most of all of the different roles you had on this team?
Honestly, at the end of the day, I just love being successful with my team. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm, catching the ball, trying to get a first down, blocking, short yardage goal line, running back. It doesn't matter to me. We like to call ourselves the program guys, the tight ends. Man, like we want to do whatever it can be the best, put us in the best situation for us to succeed, no matter what it is.
And as a senior, how have you seen this program grow to the point where it is right now?
Definitely just the family, environment that we've created over these years. I can remember, when I was younger, you just didn't have that culture to where you could just hang out with anybody in the locker room and not feel, left out. This year, being a senior, I could say I'm closer with, some of the younger guys than I am with even some of my own classmates. We're on that same level. There's no individual groups. We're just one big happy family. And I think that's what, makes times like this so hard, because you're so close to, putting your family in positions to be successful, putting your family, in an opportunity so they could, just have a great experience here at Rice, because it's never easy, putting so much work, blood, sweat, and tears with your brothers to, kind of just fall a little short in the end. But definitely just the family environment that we've created. We definitely have a lot more confidence and swagger with this, which is something I think is, big for a football program.
How challenging was it getting just through all the COVID-19 protocols to even get to game day?
Yeah, that definitely was very tough. But, thankfully we have a great administration. We have great coaching staffs. We have just great, young men on this team who understand the seriousness of COVID-19 and, took everything, serious. That's basically what it went down to. We just allowed ourselves to be able to play this season, even with all the ups and downs of, getting games canceled. We just had to make sure that we focused on what we could control. And that's, being smart, whether that's here on, Rice campus or, at home, staying isolated, staying bubbled, getting tested. It was definitely stressful. But at the end of the day, proud of this team for, coming together and really, really putting this team first when it came to instances like that.
And then on the field, can you walk us through that touchdown pass that you got from Giovanni?
Yeah, I was in line tight end on the left side. Had a safety roll down. I don't want to say it was SAS pressure, but I know the safety came and blitzed. And, Pavlov's theory, man, I got excited, ended up running the corner route, understanding that the linebacker had me, man. I had leverage on him. Jovan threw a perfect ball, perfect timing, and I just knew I had to get in the end zone. So, shout out to the O-line for, pass protection. Shout out to the coaches for calling that play, and shout out to Giovanni for, great ball. And then, we just got that touchdown, which is great. We needed that, especially going into the half.
Hey, Jordan. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, how crazy it is the past 3 years, y'all have played 3 different quarterbacks in a season. Yeah.
It's definitely unfortunate, because you never want to see, injuries like that, looking over and seeing your brother hurt. It's never a good feeling. But the thing that I just want to, tip my hat off to, our quarterbacks for, stepping up when their number's called, because that's a big thing that we preach in this program is like, especially this year, you just never know when your number might get called. So, shout out to Jovan, Wiley, everybody who had that opportunity to come in and really just, be that leader for this team whenever they needed it.
Jordan, I apologize if you've already been asked this question, but I was working on other things you couldn't hear. Have you made a decision about your future?
No decision. You know, love this team. I love this program. Love this university. You know, biggest thing that we was focusing on was, you know, just trying to get this dub, you know, and finishing out this season. Haven't even put no thought into it. But, you know, default, you know, I love being here at Rice University. So, you know, go Owls.